Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you're a towel, not a metaphorical towel, not a wiping away tears of existence kind of towel. A literal cotton fiber bathroom accessory, and somehow you're alive. Congratulations, you're Towelie, South Park's greatest mistake and maybe its most accurate portrayal of human suffering. Towelie isn't just a joke. He's a cry for help embroidered in polyester. Created as a parody of lazy merchandising, he somehow became the most emotionally honest character in the show. He's sentient, addicted, unemployed, and perpetually high, the holy trinity of modern despair. The thing about Towelie is, he's not evil, he's not good, he just is. He exists in that weird limbo where consciousness is more of a punishment than a gift. He's proof that sentience without purpose is a slow, existential waterboarding, and yet we laugh. We laugh at his blank eyes, his forgetfulness, his constant need to get a little high. But beneath that giggle lies something haunting, because deep down, we all know what it's like to be tired, confused, and mildly damp inside. So, let's dive in. Let's unfold the story of Towelie, the sentient towel who just wanted to dry off and ended up drowning in his own emotions. Towelie was never meant to mean anything. He was born out of mockery, a walking, talking piece of fabric created to satirize the very idea of pointless TV merchandise. And yet, like most things made as a joke, he accidentally became the most realistic character in South Park, because what's more human than being created for someone else's profit and then left to deal with your own emotional baggage? Towelie was literally designed to remind people to bring a towel. That's it. That's his entire job description. But somewhere between the smoke clouds and self-loathing, he evolved into something darker, a being aware enough to know he's useless. He's the cosmic punchline, a sentient towel who understands he has no purpose beyond cleaning up other people's messes. And that's where the tragedy begins. He's not evil. He's not a hero. He's a thing that thinks, trapped in an endless cycle of getting high just to avoid thinking about how meaningless his existence is. He's not escaping reality. He's trying to wipe it off, but it keeps soaking back in. So when you laugh at Towelie, you're not just laughing at a stoner towel. You're laughing at the absurdity of consciousness itself. Here's the thing about Towelie. He's self-aware. He knows he's a towel. He knows he was created for no reason. And the cruel joke is, he understands it too well. Imagine being smart enough to realize your own life is a waste of fabric. That's not comedy. That's cosmic horror disguised as slapstick. Every time Towelie gets high, it's not just to feel good. It's to turn down the volume of his thoughts. Those endless looping questions. Why do I exist? Why do I care? And why the hell am I absorbent? He's not chasing pleasure. He's running from awareness, from that quiet, suffocating knowledge that his life is a bad joke with no punchline. And that's where the humor becomes cruelly beautiful. Because we, the audience, laugh at his misery, all while doing the same thing in our own lives, distracting ourselves with noise, with screens, with smoke, with anything that keeps the silence out. Towelie doesn't just represent addiction. He represents escape itself. He's the part of us that would rather be numb than present, because being present means realizing just how much it sucks to exist. So yes, Towelie is funny, but he's also a mirror, one that's damp, wrinkled, and smells faintly of denial. Towelie's life can be summed up in 3 words: get high, forget, repeat. Every episode, every appearance, it's the same tragic dance between temporary bliss and permanent confusion. He gets high to escape his problems, then forgets what his problems were, and somehow ends up with new ones. It's like watching a motivational poster written by Kafka. He's the only character who can literally absorb his pain and still end up drenched in it. He's not addicted to weed. He's addicted to relief, the kind of relief that never lasts, but feels real enough to chase again and again. When he's high, he's free. Free from thought, free from feeling, free from remembering that he's a towel with a mortgage and unresolved trauma. But when the high fades, reality hits harder than a cold dryer cycle. The room is quiet. The mind is loud, and suddenly the universe feels like a damp basement with no windows. That's the tragedy of Towelie. His escape is also his prison. Every joint he smokes is a silent prayer to stop thinking. Every laugh we give him is another reminder that his suffering is content. He's not healing, he's looping. And deep down, so are we, just with better excuses. The truth is, Towelie isn't just a towel. He's a metaphor. For you, for me, for anyone who's ever looked in the mirror and thought, what the hell am I even doing? Because let's be honest, we all have our versions of getting high. Some people smoke, others scroll endlessly, binge-watch shows they don't like, or fall in love with people who treat them like old laundry. Different habits, same purpose. Avoidance. Towelie doesn't want to face himself, and neither do we. We'd rather drown in distraction than sit in silence long enough to feel something real. He's a soft blue embodiment of every modern coping mechanism, self-aware, ironic, and permanently tired. What makes him tragic isn't that he's a towel. It's that he knows he could be more. But every time he tries, he collapses under the weight of his own awareness. He's the burnout of the digital age, the guy who knows too much and cares too little. He's not a failure. He's just exhausted. So when we laugh at Towelie, we're not mocking him. We're recognizing him. We're seeing the part of ourselves that's lost in the fog, pretending it's smoke. At some point, the joke stops being funny, and that's exactly when we laugh the hardest. That's the secret of South Park. It doesn't make us laugh because it's absurd. It makes us laugh so we don't scream at how real it feels. Towelie isn't comedy anymore. He's therapy disguised as stupidity. Every time he forgets what he's doing, it's not just a gag, it's a spiritual blackout. He's trying to disconnect from a reality that keeps glitching around him. And we find it hilarious because we do the same thing every day. We don't get high on weed. We get high on distractions, scrolling, posting, pretending we're fine. We laugh at Towelie forgetting his purpose while we've spent years pretending we even have one. There's something profoundly beautiful and disgusting about it, because laughter becomes a survival mechanism. The line between haha and help me blurs into a single exhale. That's why we love Towelie. He's honest in his failure. He doesn't hide the mess. He is the mess. And in a world obsessed with looking perfect, that's the funniest and saddest thing imaginable. So, what do we learn from a sentient towel who just wants to get high? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And somehow that's the point. Towelie's life doesn't offer lessons or redemption arcs. He doesn't overcome addiction, find meaning, or choose happiness. He just is. He floats through chaos, giggling, coughing, and forgetting, a stoner Sisyphus rolling his joint up the same hill every day. And maybe that's what makes him beautiful. He's not trying to make sense of existence. He's surviving it, one puff, one laugh, one accidental epiphany at a time. Because if life really is meaningless, the only logical response is to make it funny. Absurdity becomes the cure for awareness. Comedy becomes anesthesia. And for a brief, glorious moment, we stop feeling like soggy towels left out in the rain. So next time you feel lost, tired, or emotionally soaked, remember, you could be Towelie. You could be trapped in a world that treats your pain like a punchline. But if you can laugh, even for a second, then maybe, just maybe, that's enough to dry off. Don't forget to bring a towel.